So we're gonna get to work on these collards here. We're just gonna stem them. So you just come down like this, just grab it up at the end, and just kind of pull along like this. And a little bit of the stem is fine, but this bottom stem is really fibrous, as you can see there. Just get rid of those. These other little ribs up here, those guys are fine. They're gonna braise right down, but biggest thing is getting that stem off, getting the dirt off of them. Those guys are massaged well enough. So we're gonna just ace this water. And dry them out, and then we're gonna cut them up. So about, an inch or so, and then we're gonna run it back the other way. Just cubes of collards here. So with the mirepoix here, we have celery, carrots, and onions, and this is a classic base for a lot of sauces and stuffings and many, many different things. So we're just gonna do a little julienne here with the celery. So now just a really small dice here, not too small, but because you wanna have something left when we braise these collards down. We're not gonna use our mandolin this time. We're gonna go straight rustic, bigger pieces. So now with our onion, this is a sweet onion. I love sweet onions. And this happens to be a Vidalia onion. So we're gonna do a little cross section. And we're gonna go a little bit bigger, like I said. So now we're gonna put a little garlic in this guy. We're gonna smash him with the back of the knife. Rustic too, especially with the garlic. You want it bigger pieces. Our pan is ready. So we're gonna go in a little bit of olive oil here. Just make sure it's hot. You never wanna rush a pan. If it's not ready, don't put stuff in there. Now you can hear that sizzle. That's perfect, that's what you want. Get all those goodies out of there. Well, that smell already is amazing. We're gonna get a little seasoning in there, a little salt and pepper. And this is what's called sweating. So the vegetables are just starting to sweat, losing some of their liquid. So let's prep our pork belly and we'll get that on top. What we're gonna do is score it back and forth. You don't wanna go too far in. You kinda wanna get right down to the meat surface there underneath and come back the other way and make these cute little diamonds. So back in the pan with that, and then we're gonna season that. We're gonna do a little brown sugar on this guy too, not much, just to kind of help the caramelization, add a little sweetness. So you can see that's a very small amount. We're gonna do the second layer here on the back side, and onto the grill we go with our beautiful pork belly. Raised right here on this ranch. I mean, look at this place. Mountains, valleys, gorgeous. And if this happens on the grill, don't freak out. Just take your piece of meat and move it off. And look at that already. And then we're gonna throw our collard greens right on top of the vegetables here. Get this party started. Roll that baby over. Get those vegetables up off the bottom. Get them all mixed up together. You can see how hardy these greens are. If we did this with a spinach, the spinach would be wilted immediately. So these collards are a really hardy green. We're gonna move this back under, put the pork on top of it, and start doing our thing, building flavors. Pork belly into collard greens, come on. You can see how that kind of just drips right into that pan. So now we're gonna start with this sauce. So we're gonna cut this rhubarb down a little bit here. Won't need a ton of it. We're gonna go right down the middle. Oh, it's beautiful, crispy. Just gonna kind of do a little bias here. So a little olive oil into the bowl, and then we're gonna take our rhubarb, go right on the top with it. And of course, since this is savory, we're gonna go in with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we're gonna hit it with a little bit of brown sugar, just right over the top. You want kind of a little bit, maybe 2 tablespoons. So into our hot pan, olive oil. We're gonna saute that. A little piece of ginger there, 1 inch, peel it up. And this is gonna give a great heat and spice to this dish. For this, you kind of want it a little smaller. In with the ginger, some sliced shallot. So what we've done here, we have our collard greens that are finished, and we just put these into a little vessel here to kind of just keep them warm, just keep them away. So now we're gonna finish our rhubarb. You can start to see it's really getting soft. The ginger shallots have cooked down quite a bit. So now we're gonna add our vinegar, which this is the -8 Concord grape, delicious vinegar. And then we're gonna go in with some pomegranate molasses. You could use maple syrup, would be really cool with the rhubarb. So this is a little Fresno chili here that we're gonna seed out, cut down the chili, get to the bottom, and then just kind of roll it with your hand. And that'll take all the seeds and stuff out of it. Just chop that up really fine. So in with the Fresno chili. Okay, we're gonna go half a lemon on this guy. So now we're gonna work on our pork belly that's been scored, seared, and roasted on the grill. But what we're gonna do is cut it into about 1-inch cubes, and then we're gonna get it back into the cast iron pan and crisp those up. A little bit of salt there. Finish with some pepper. Gonna go just a little bit of oil. Oh, perfect. Nice and brown. So now to finish this dish, we got our pork belly, perfectly crispy there, nice and crunchy on the outside. A lot of the fat has been rendered out of there. Go right down on the plate, kind of little diagonal. And these greens, I just tasted them. They are absolutely delicious. Fresh, never been in the fridge, picked by our friend Marion. So now we're gonna assemble the pork belly on it. As always, nothing fussy. This is rustic farm cooking. Don't get too crazy. But the fun thing about cooking is you can always dress this up if you'd like. We're gonna finish the pork just with a tiny touch of salt. So some of the rhubarb right up on top there. A little bit around the side. And then, as shown by our friend Marion in the greenhouse, we have these beautiful mustard green tops. This is good for looks and for flavor. So that's our final dish. That is a crispy pork belly with a rhubarb compote and some braised collard greens from Robinson Family Farms and Ranch.
I knew collards could be so good, man.
I have no idea.
And nobody knows what to do with them.
Now they do.
So good. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy good. Crazy good. I can't thank you enough, man. You're just, this guy is one of a kind, man. Hey, support your local farmer. Come
Likewise.
meet guys like this.
Likewise.
It's truly it's a pleasure. Out! Ugh! Dude, you kidding? Look at that.